One, I was walking on the beach, and it's such a lovely community, and it's dog friendly, and all the dogs are so good and so sweet, and so well behaved and capable of being off leash because it's a lovely community. It's like that circle, right? It's like happy people, and it's like nobody's freaking out or fearful, so then the dogs aren't freaking out or fearful or feel like they need to protect, right? It's like that beautiful flow. And anyway, as I was walking, there was one dog that was in the water with the owner, but just at the edge playing, in the lapping waves coming in and out. And I saw it start to do a dance, and I was like, oh, I know that dance. It's about to go to the bathroom. And sure enough, it did. And I think it actually did catch the owner off guard. And she didn't, thank God, she didn't shame it or yell at it or freak out. She just allowed it to happen, because once he's going to the bathroom, what are you going to do? And I guess she didn't have baggies with her. I don't know. I didn't analyze the situation too much. I just saw it. And honestly, I felt bad for her, because normally as humans, that's what we do. We shame other humans. And sure enough, as I got closer, she kind of put her hand out and was pointing out to be like, oh, please, don't step in whatever. And I just nodded my head I say. And another woman who was coming towards me, so she was coming the opposite way, you could see starting to shake the head, starting to shame. And I think she was even commenting something, and I just turned my head I'm not even listening to this lady. Nature is nature. It sucks. We all run into situations. I'm sure she does not take her dog to the beach every day to poop in the water, right? Shit happens. And when we add shame on top of it, the woman will look like a competent member of society. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not like in other words, she probably already had enough embarrassment and shame. We don't need to add more shame or embarrassment to people. They know what is right. They know what to do. If she had a baggie, I'm sure she would have picked it up. If not, hate to tell you, the fish and everything else are shitting in the ocean all day too. Granted, of course, we don't want people going in and doing that. Yet it does happen, and it is okay, and it's a massive ocean, and it will wash it away, and it will disintegrate and be taken care of, right? It's nature. It happens. Or, maybe she did run and get a baggie, or somebody else, although I will say when I walked back that way, it was still there. Although it was all broken up, it was starting. The water was already starting to break it up. The water was already starting to do its job. And so I guess it was the reminder too, because I did think of that after the woman was clearly starting to shame the other woman, but just mumbling under her breath and shaking her head, it was such an old lady move, and she was ancient. And I get her wanting to keep her oceans clean and this thing. This is what I'm saying. Everybody gets it. We all get it. So there's no need to add more embarrassment, more shame, more attention. And I thought of all the times where, we do that to one another as a society. We shame one another. We blame one another. We point out others' mistakes. We embarrass them. But in times when it's not necessary, right? There is a time and a place. If somebody commits a horrific crime and we didn't shame them, it would start to imply that we're okay with it. So I get that there is a place for that. I don't know that I agree with it, but I can understand that mentality a lot better. Where people are putting their rule books and their shame and their blame on people left, right, and center. And it's not helping anything or anyone. I know there's been many a times where I would go out and, people are constantly judging, and you can feel it, you can hear it, you can see it. And I'm just thinking of when I was with my daughter a lot of times, I don't even know what would happen, but all of a sudden you would get the looks of shame or the looks of whatever. And it's oh God, what did I do? But then what unfortunately happens is my daughter can then see that I'm worried or something's wrong, but then she thinks she did something wrong. Do you see how this circle, we can start infecting one another unintentionally? And so that goes back to the beginning of the story where that's what happens with dogs too. Like if you have them on a leash and you're anxious, you're worried, you're uptight, it runs down the leash. And they think, oh God, mom's worried, she's uptight, something's wrong. Let me get defensive. Who's around? Who do I need to bark at? Who do I need to tell? Back up, right? So it's funny how that works. We don't realize we're signaling one another all the time. But if there was conversation had and people could calm down and recognize what's going on, I could calm down, the dog could calm down, everybody's calm, everything's fine, everything is fine. But people are omitting signals all the time and we're picking up on those signals. And a lot of times it is just our nonsense in our head, our list of right and wrong, how things should be, what we approve of and disapprove of. And we make it known. Whether we're verbalizing it or not, we are making it known by our presence because people do pick up on energy. They do pick up on body language. They do pick up on, this is the idea of, people who really pick up on energy and pick up on things more than body language, more than your words, more than whatever. They can feel your energy. So you could be saying all the right things and smiling in someone's face, but they can feel something's off. Don't know what. They can't pinpoint it. It's invisible energy. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, but that's a matter of all of us having to do our own internal work. Because what happens is also, that's what can lead to gaslighting. They can be like, oh, I don't know, they were crazy. I was totally nice. I was smiling. I was saying the nicest things. They're the ones who backed away. They're the ones who freaked out. And so it can seem like the person who picked up the true essence of that person is the one who's crazy when it's like, no, they read it right, but they can go crazy when everybody starts to deny their intuition, right? Like it starts to say, oh, you're just crazy, or oh, you're reading into things, or oh, you're whatever, because they don't want to admit that they did have underlying projection of shame or blame or anger or whatever. Does this make sense to people? And so it just goes back to staying in your own lane, not worrying about what other people say, not worrying about what other people think, learning to control your own mind, learning not to be a sponge, learning not to absorb their stuff, allowing everybody to hold their own bag, hold their own shame and blame, hold their own thoughts, because that is poisonous if it's not healthy, positive thoughts. And so they can keep their poison. There's no reason for you to drink it. There's no reason for you to absorb it. Let them hold on to it. So if they want to even deny it, let them deny it. They're just holding it in. Let them hold it in, whether you see it or not. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to excuse yourself or them. You don't get involved at all. This is what I mean by just control your thoughts and move forward. So there was that. There was something else that there was. I think I might have to jump back on. Oh, you know what? I was going to say I have to jump back on when I remember, but you know what I think it was? It was the temperature. Oh, I think it is too. Okay, they're showing too much now. Let me make a whole new post. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.